feel like, man, whatever you do wrong must come back around in a circle. Just like you know what I'm talking about? If you did wrong and everybody know it's blatant, the truth is out in the open. You sent that type of energy towards the Young Dolph way, and you got no Young Dolph knocked off. I talked to Govan. I did an interview with Hernandez Govan, the dude who set the whole supposedly, you know what I'm saying, Dolph murder up.
Had my life back.
What's the first thing you plan to do?
Go hug my son.
Mr. Govan, you haven't smiled all this week, but obviously you have a lot to smile about. Just tell me just about what you're feeling in right now.
Like I said, it's kind of hard to explain the feeling of getting your life back, you know.
There's a line in Memphis hip-hop you're not supposed to cross. And lately, it looks like someone stepped right over it. A voice close to the streets, Stan G, put a public warning on blast. Blac Youngsta might need to watch his back. He wasn't talking about trolls. He was pointing straight at power. That's when the rumor mills stopped being entertainment and started sounding like a siren. If you want the real story behind the captions, the courtroom twists, and the quiet phone calls no one admits to, tap subscribe, hit the like, and drop Memphis in the comments so we know you're tuned in. Now, let's get into it.
When I put out a story, the other day I put out a story, Young Mob had ended up catching a Rico, you know what I'm talking about, and I put out a story. An hour later, the news ran the same story.
But where did this start? Why now? And what happens when loyalty turns into a liability? Stan G didn't whisper. He said the quiet part out loud. On mic and on camera, he claimed the same energy that crushed enemies could circle back on insiders if they turned into problems.
Hey man, y'all rich tell them bitch what it is, bro.
Y'all fly niggas.
Look,
CMG
big
shit. Y'all rich niggas. Every count shit.
Nah, I would never f them broke ass. Like, shit. When I was broke, why would I f them now they broke? It ain't my fault you broke. You were playing on me. I'm telling my mom. Ooh, I'm pregnant. Ooh. My shoe just fell out. Ooh, my head just fell out. Ooh.
He painted Youngsta as the ultimate send-out, the one who took the messy jobs, sparked the heat, kept the noise. That's a heavy label in a city where reputations stick. The clip spread because it felt like someone finally saying what others only hinted, not proof, not paperwork, a warning.
Well, hell, at this point, because you lost all the his last artist is Glorilla. She doing crazy because he putting a crazy bag behind Glorilla.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? So Glorilla, she gonna shine regardless right now. But when he go over there and dealing with them Texas boys, them folk got hit up. Them folk got hit up everywhere he go to, like the Fed watching it. You know what I'm talking about? He signed that boy over here, that boy end up going to jail. So they watching that boy so close right now.
Warnings don't go viral unless the ground is already shaking. But that wasn't the whole story. On paper, CMG looks bulletproof. A roster stacked with names, backed by a founder who plays chess, not checkers. That's the public image. Wins, plaques, headlines. And the rise is real. But any machine that runs this hot starts to rattle when one bolt shifts.
The only reason I didn't do it, like I could have went over there and got with Gotti and got the co-signer and sped my whole process up. But at the same time, I couldn't do it because I had too much of my own money and too much of my own time invested into it. So it wouldn't have made sense for me. You see what I'm saying? And man, it's like, that's Memphis, bro. That town is too small.
Fans began reading posts like tea leaves. Who's still tight? Who cooled off? Who's carrying the banner? In this season, momentum shows, but legal hiccups and late-breaking controversies elsewhere turn the spotlight into a heat lamp.
You know what I mean? Like, whatever, if anything, if he wanted to do something, I wanted to do something, but it's like, let's do it. That town is smart. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad to hear that.
It's just Memphis one of them cities like that. You know what I mean? Like, if you pay attention, it always been a artist at the city center, the king of Memphis. I'm the king of Memphis. That's why it's been so hard for other artists to pop out and take off, because everybody want to be that I. The big one is just me. You know what I mean? But
in a house built on winds, one awkward silence can sound like an alarm. And the alarm got louder after an old wound reopened.
We, the jury, found the defendant, Hernandez Govan, not guilty in count 2 of the indictment.
It was said more than once as the 45-year-old was acquitted on both counts. Govan was unable to contain his excitement as he embraced his pro bono defense attorneys, but out of view were the supporters of Young Dolph, who were hoping Lady Justice would tip in their favor.
Young Dolph's death in 2021 changed everything. The city hurt. The scene split. Eyes from everywhere landed on Memphis. There were convictions, there were acquittals, there were claims and counterclaims. The courtroom put names on microphones and emotions on edge.
For a long time, see, it's a long story behind Blac Youngsta. See, Blac Youngsta was hanging with one of Gotti enemies before he got with Gotti. Okay. So Blac Youngsta is somebody who just jump around for the money. He's just a send out. He one of the biggest send outs from Memphis. They're just keeping it real.
The verdicts didn't settle the streets. If anything, they reminded people how complicated this really is. You can close a case on paper. You can't close grief. And that grief came with receipts from years earlier. For a long time, Blac Youngsta was CMG's spark plug. Loud, fearless, unfiltered. The internet loved it until it didn't.
I hate it's like this, cause bro, it's like, why, if you so gangster, why the f you rapping? Why you ain't out there killing? You need to go do some murders, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you're a killer, go kill shit. You right here on this stage for, you know what I'm saying? So I look at it like, so many people want to be rappers. And so many people I ain't no rapper, I'm a street. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much bullshit. So I had to wonder to myself, like, what the f am I? You know what I'm saying? All these people be lying like, they this and they that. But what, I had to really think like, what am I? And I'm like, I'm not a rapper. Because I like rapping, but I'm into my side, but I really like entertaining people.
After Dolph's passing, the stunts didn't read the same. A cemetery clip tied to a familiar last name set off backlash. What once felt like rap bravado looked like disrespect to a grieving city. It cemented Youngsta as the lightning rod. Every headline, every post ricocheted back to him.
You know you come well regarded. I mean, Sean Jay-Z Carter speaks very highly of you, right? I mean, Steve Stout speaks very highly of you. You know, I can't find a person that says anything bad about Yo Gotti, and they always say how smart you are, how focused you are, and a lot to get into about your business personality and all that.
In a world where brands talk partnerships, that's a heavy cross to carry. A spark plug can start an engine. It can also start a fire. And then the subtle clues started showing up where everyone could see them. Scroll his socials. One word jumps out: independent. It's stamped in the bio, echoed in reposts, screenshotted and dissected. No paragraph. No press release, just a single line that shifts the conversation. Is it branding? A real split? A negotiating stance? In an era where soft launches and quiet unfollows speak louder than interviews, fans took it as a message. Whether it's final or a phase, the signal is out there, and it landed right when the speculation was already loud. When a door shuts quietly online, the noise happens in the comments. But some of the loudest echoes weren't digital at all. Inside court, testimony claimed a six-figure bounty was offered by a powerful name tied to the label's orbit. That was testimony, not a conviction. Later, a key figure connected to that orbit was killed, never charged in the case, never given legal closure. Those two realities, claims under oath and an unsolved pain, fed a narrative machine that hasn't powered down. People connected dots, others erased them. The only constant was uncertainty, and uncertainty is gasoline on rumor. In Memphis, stories travel faster than answers. Which brings us back to risk, the one calculus powerful people never discuss in public. In a label world, artists are assets. Until the news cycle flips, the case file reopens, or the public mood turns. Then the map changes. If your name attracts eyes but also heat, what are you worth? If you're the one who keeps attention buzzing, do you keep your seat? Or become the blame when the room gets too hot? That's the quiet conversation behind every cryptic post. A boss protects the brand. An artist protects his pride. And pride, once bruised, starts talking in captions, not calls. Youngsta built a career on being unpredictable. That's thrilling on a track and terrifying in a boardroom. He moves on impulse. CMG moves on strategy. When those two rhythms collide, someone has to change tempo or walk off the stage. And if nobody changes tempo, the ending writes itself. At the center sits Yo Gotti, the architect who treats moves like a chessboard. He built a machine that can turn a neighborhood rumor into a nationwide moment, and he does it without raising his voice. Control isn't just his preference, it's the operating system. When a storm hits, he's the one who tightens the bolts, reshapes the narrative, and keeps the brand looking untouchable. The difference now is that the storm is coming from inside the house, and even a strategist has to decide who gets protected and who gets parked. Blac Youngsta enters from the opposite angle, pure momentum, heart on sleeve, volume always at 11. He's the guy who makes the internet lean forward. Unpredictable, emotional, the same energy that made CMG trend, is the energy that makes boardrooms tense. With him, loyalty looks loud, love looks messy, and every caption feels like a decision in real time. Some weeks he's the engine. Other weeks, he's the spark landing near the gas can. That kind of presence doesn't sit quietly. It shakes the table. The beat underneath all of this is young Dolph, gone, but still guiding how every glance is read and every post is parsed. His name is the meter the city still hears. Tracks, memories, grief, none of it fades on command. When people look at the current tension, they don't start from zero. They start from Dolph. That memory is the lens, and once you see through it, every little shift looks bigger than it is. Then there's Stan G, the loudspeaker the streets listen to when they want someone to say what everyone's only hinting. He doesn't show paperwork, he shows pressure points. A warning from him isn't a verdict, but it does change the temperature in the room. He's the kind of narrator who makes crowds look up from their phones and say, "Wait, what did he just say?" In a climate like this, that's enough to move behavior. Glorilla moves differently, bright, new, and undeniably effective. She's the proof that the machine still prints wins. When the comment sections get dark, her momentum keeps the lights on. She's not the center of the conflict, but her success is the reminder that there's still something worth protecting if cooler heads prevail. Labels talk about balance. She is what balance looks like on a chart. Floating above the conversation is the shadow of Big Juke, a name that lives at the intersection of testimony, tragedy, and unanswered questions. He represents the part of the story people debate in hushed tones, the part that can't be wrapped in a neat press release. You can't put a bow on grief, and you can't out-PR the rumors that grief creates. His presence in the narrative is proof that silence sometimes speaks the loudest. And around them, the orbit, co-defendants, acquaintances, bloggers, cousins, fans, the chorus that can turn an echo into an earthquake. In Memphis, the chorus is its own character. It rewrites timelines, amplifies whispers, and decides which version of the truth trends by midnight. Industry plans can be precise, but if the chorus chooses chaos, precision starts losing ground. Put them together and you don't get a simple label saga. You get a living city drama, where business decisions feel like family choices, and family choices carry business consequences. The boss who values control. The artist who values feeling. The legend whose absence is still a presence. The amplifier who says the unsaid. The rising star who shows the engine still runs. The shadow who keeps the story from ever going quiet. And the crowd that crowns winners, buries myths, and keeps the receipts. Now that the cast is in focus, there are only a few ways this can play out. Every story like this ends with a choice, and each choice rewrites the city in a different way. Door 1, the quiet fix. The phones don't ring at noon. They buzz in the hours when screenshots sleep. Voices drop. Lawyers translate feelings into clauses. What looked like a breakup becomes a new structure, and independent starts sounding a lot like partner on paper. The bio stays bold because pride is part of the brand, but the wires reconnect where nobody can see them. Money flows without victory laps. Posts stay cool. The city relaxes not because the past is healed, but because business found a bandage strong enough to hold. Door 2, the public split. Some endings need signatures. Announcements drop with careful punctuation. Both sides pick words like they're picking locks. The timeline salute, then sharpen. A lyric lands, vague enough to deny, pointed enough to discuss. New alliances form. Old photos get archived. The press calls it amicable, the crowd calls it finally, and the story gains a new season. Who thrives, who stalls, who tells the first unfiltered version on a podcast that everyone swears they don't watch. Door 3, the permanent freeze. No papers, no statements, just air. He moves over there, they move over here. The unfollow never happens because nothing that obvious will. Instead, the silence does the talking. Club sightings get measured like weather reports. Studio rumors feel like forecasts. The business reads it as containment, no mess, no messengers. The street reads it as confirmation, no words, all meaning. Time doesn't fix it. It only teaches both sides how to live with the distance. Whichever door opens, one thing doesn't change. The past keeps humming underneath the floorboards. Every caption will be scanned for clues. Every win will be judged for what it says between the lines. And the next move, loud or quiet, won't just be a decision. It'll sound like a verdict on everything that came before. So what does this say about power, loyalty, and survival? Here's the hard truth. Empires don't crumble in one day. They crack in whispers, captions, and sidelong glances. A warning here. A bio change there. A case that won't stay quiet. If Yo Gotti and Blac Youngsta resolve this, the machine resets and keeps winning. If they don't, the past won't just haunt the label, it'll define it. And that's the cost nobody wants to pay. In the end, the question isn't whether a label is falling apart. It's whether the people inside it still believe the same story. Because the moment they don't, the audience can hear the break. Who do you think's gonna be the next person in the limelight? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to get the latest celebrity news and updates. I'll see y'all on the next one.